Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse podcast. This is episode number 453, I think.
You sound unsure.
I'm pretty sure it's 453. Yeah, I just confirmed it live.
Nice.
My name's Adam Patterson. With me today we got Kevin Rakestraw. Hey, Kevin.
Hi.
This week on the show, we're going to be taking a look at Prey, which is out now on Hulu. We're also going to be taking a look at some of what we've been watching on the watch list and this week's new releases in theaters, VOD, and Blu-ray. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Please remember to review us on iTunes if you get a moment. That'd be great. With that, I think we can just go straight on into our review, talking about Prey. Now, I was like beyond excited for this one. Let me start off with the synopsis. This is directed by Dan Trachtenberg. The origin story of the Predator in the world of the Comanche Nation 300 years ago. Naru, a skilled female warrior, fights to protect her tribe against one of the first highly evolved predators to land on Earth. For this one, I'm a big fan of the Predator franchise. However, I've been let down by the Predator movies in the past.
No, you don't say?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, though, the last two Predator movies, so Predators and whatever the one was before that, The Predator? I think it was just called whatever. The last two, I actually liked. The Shane Black one and then the one before that. A lot of people didn't like the one before the most recent one, but I thought it was fine. This one, however, puts all those to shame, in my opinion. I think that this is by far the best Predator movie since the first one. And I think that fans of the Predator franchise will absolutely love this. Like, they will just love every moment of this movie. Now, Kevin, I don't know what your familiarity or like appreciation of Predator is. Like, I take it you at least saw the first Predator movie.
You would be wrong.
No, okay, so all right.
I don't know anything about Predator.
Okay,
I mean, I've seen him.
Oh, you're familiar with Predator though, right?
I know what he looks like.
Okay.
I know that he can be invisible.
Okay. All right.
And he's got the prong thing, like with his mouth. That shit's disgusting. I know that.
Yeah.
It's gross. I don't like it.
Okay, so
and the interesting thing is I didn't really know a whole lot about Prey, and then I'm starting to see stuff for Prey, trailers and such, and just rumblings and the like, and I'm just like, oh wait, this is a Predator movie? This is what's happening? And I essentially told myself, like, oh, it's probably a good time to finally watch Predator. That didn't happen. So Prey is my first Predator movie.
Man, you never even saw like the Aliens versus Predator movies? None of those?
Nope. None of them.
Wow. Okay.
Nothing.
This should be interesting then.
Yes.
So, having never seen a Predator movie, and by the way, my dad, because we were talking about Prey, and my dad was going to watch it with us, and then we had internet issues last night, so he didn't get a chance to watch it, and I had to watch it today for the show. He never even heard of Predator. He literally never heard of Predator. Yeah, he was just like, no, I have no idea. And we showed him pictures, and he was just like, nope. It was like, you never heard of the movie Predator? You never even saw like the creature? You don't know anything about it? He's like, nope. I'm like, I don't even understand how that can be.
That's wild. Like, I could see my dad not knowing Predator, because my dad doesn't really watch movies. He only watches comedies.
That's the thing.
But your dad watches movies.
Yeah, my dad's like a movie guy. Like, he knows a lot about movies. He watches a lot of movies. Like, it's just so bizarre to me that he somehow missed out on this, I think, very popular franchise that's like I feel, at least I thought that it was pretty much like permeated into pop culture. Like, I thought that like everybody at least knew, like, I understand maybe not seeing the movies, but at least knowing
Yeah.
the character, like what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's just so
At least
bizarre
like
to
when
me.
someone says predator, you're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking
oh,
about.
the alien. Yeah, yeah. Or like the Arnold movie. Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. All right, so what were your initial impressions of Prey then?
Uh, I I was pretty excited for this, just giving the setting. I really like this idea of the Comanche Nation and some Comanche warriors taking on the predator, and this kind of being the predator, I guess, dropping down to Earth for the first time, the origin story, if you will. So I was pretty excited. I was very happy with the landscapes and the setting itself, just like the natural aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that. They did a great job of that. Uh, and I gotta say, this is pretty damn good, and especially for like the runtime of this, like this is just it feels like it packs a lot in.
Yeah,
And this movie felt much longer than it actually was, but not in a bad way.
exactly. I completely agree with you on that. Especially because like I just finished watching it like maybe half an hour ago, and just now when I was like pulling up the information, I saw that the runtime was only an hour and 40 minutes, but a lot happens. I mean, yes, at the end of the day, this is a Predator movie, but there's so many other things going on here that are beyond just the interactions with the Predator. Like you have multiple other elements here. You have like mountain lions and bears and the white man to deal with. Like so, there's all these other aspects of it that are packed in here, in addition to like plenty of encounters with the Predator. Like this is not a movie that skimps on action. I'll say
No,
that.
no, but it does a
It's
good job of pacing it out.
Yeah, yeah. It's not wall to wall. I think that it's structured in a similar manner to the original Predator movie, where they keep the premise like fairly simple, and I appreciated that as well. And I just the number of like winks and nods to the original movie, the action sequences themselves, like you said, the visuals, like the atmosphere, the scene that takes place in that like kind of burnt out forest area with like the ash coming down, like it all just looks incredible. I love movies set in the wilderness, so that was like a plus for me also. And I feel like that this came out at a really good time too, just socially, because we're seeing this kind of a groundswell in Native American representation in cinema and TV as well. And I think that it came out at a really good time while we
Yeah,
kind of celebrate that.
yeah, and I love the pacing of this, not only in the sense of just how it kind of ratchets it up like as the movie goes on, but also as someone that doesn't know about Predator, outside of like a couple of things here and there. I liked how they kind of like as the movie went on, you learned a little bit more.
Mm.
Like as you're essentially in Amber Midthunder's shoes here, where like she's learning little by little these little aspects. And the next time we encounter the predator, we might learn one or two more things, and you're just like, okay, this is really interesting. I,
Right,
I,
yeah.
I like this predator guy.
The onboarding process for this is definitely very very easy for audiences who have not seen a Predator movie, maybe haven't seen a Predator movie in a long time, or people, coming to the franchise for the first time. It does a really good job of like introducing this character to you, and then like parceling out its abilities, its weaponry, all of that stuff. And there's a lot of new stuff here too, to be clear. Like there's stuff in here that I've never seen before. Maybe it's in like the comic books and the extended universe or whatever, but there's a lot of stuff here that I haven't seen before, and it's important to remember that this is 300 years before the first Predator, so like its weaponry is a little bit more primitive than in the later movies and stuff too. So it's just it's awesome, dude. Like the action scenes in this are so well done. Maybe the only criticism I have is that there's maybe a little bit too much handheld work with
Yeah.
some of those scenes. It gets a bit shaky at times. And the thing is, like, you can still see what's going on, and it doesn't feel like the shaky cam is trying to really hide anything per se, because the like the action scenes, the choreography, and all of that is very well done. So I feel like they could have just eliminated some of the shaky handheld shots there, but really that's kind of the only nitpick I have. I really enjoyed pretty much everything else with this. I thought it was really exciting. It's bloody, as you might expect, or as you would hope. I mean, that first Alien versus Predator movie was PG-13, so I don't know. But
No.
um, the I liked the score too, which is another like rare thing that I noticed. I really the score felt new, um, but also reminiscent of the original film, while also complementing the setting of this movie. So I thought that uh, Sarah did a really good job with the score. Probably mispronouncing her last name, and I apologize. And Amber Midthunder was awesome in this. Like she kicked a lot of
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah. No, as soon as she made the tomahawk with
Oh man,
the rope on it, I was
hell
just like,
yeah,
yes, thank you. Thank you for doing that. I'm gonna
hell
enjoy this
yeah.
later. I can feel it. But yeah, that's I agree with you. The only thing I really have an issue with is some of the handheld during the action sequences. But in spite of that, I found almost all the action sequences to be very fulfilling. All of them exciting, and they were always like better than the last one.
Oh
Every
yeah,
single
yeah.
one
Like
just got
it.
like a little bit better as it
Mm-hmm.
went on, and and I just you're just not disappointed. There was no lull. There was just a nice build to each action set piece.
Yeah, and each time the things got like ramped up and were like bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you have like the sort of ultimate showdown where there's a really great like gear up scene where there's like traps being set and stuff, and you just get so amped up because you know that it's going to be something big,
Yeah,
and it was.
and I also love to because I didn't know about the fur trappers. I had no idea that the fur trappers were going to show up because that kind of threw me for a little bit because I'm like, oh, okay, this we added a fold here.
Mm,
We have a
mm.
new wrinkle to this, and my first thought is, I hope that this wrinkle is just an excuse for the predator to annihilate
Yeah,
more people because he's not killing enough people, and I don't want him to kill any of the people that I've met before the
right,
fur
yeah.
trappers. But as soon as the fur trappers introduced, I'm like, yes, they will do.
And there's a lot of them too, so
Yes, there's
there's
just it seems like too many fur trappers, but at the same time, you're like,
just enough for Predator.
it's fine. I'll allow it.
Yeah, the thing is, like, by this point, most people know like what the Predator is about. They know what it looks like, all of that stuff. So there's no need to like hide it for very long. So there's a lot of scenes here where I mean, Predator's just he's using everything in his arsenal. Like maybe the most variety that we've seen in any of the Predator movies, because he's just got all kinds of gadgets and goodies to take out people in a variety of gruesome ways, and it was awesome. The like the shield thing, like I don't know if that's a
Yeah,
new.
yeah,
That seems like maybe a new thing.
yeah. Because that was my thought before the shield was introduced. I'm thinking, well, this guy is entirely overpowered for everyone that he's seeing. Everyone that he's coming across, he's overpowered. And then the shield comes into play, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's that just made it worse. I was surprised. I had a lot of fun with this. This turned out far better than I was expecting.
I had pretty high expectations for it. I was pretty confident that Dan Trachtenberg would do a good job with this franchise, knowing that he's a fan and just knowing the kind of person that he is. He's somebody who like really loves movies and these types of properties. So I kind of knew it was in good hands, but I still wasn't quite sure just because, studio involvement could mess things up. Because if you remember, he was originally working on the Uncharted movie and then Sony got involved and like messed things up with that and he left. So I didn't know if it was like, going to be one of those situations, but I'm very happy to say that this one turned out great. Loved every moment of it. I can't wait to watch it again. I think it was one of the best times I've had at the movies this year. I love the title card too. That title card when it, the camera pans up and you have the Prey title. Just the title
Mm.
in and of itself, just calling it Prey, I think is awesome. And I also liked just how much awesome action there was in this. Like lots of hand-to-hand fights with the Predator that we haven't really seen too much of in the past. Lots of brutal hatchet action. I loved
Hmm.
the hatchet on the string thing. I loved that. And there were bogs. There was a pretty
There
serious
was,
bog scene in this too.
yeah, it plays an important role here.
Oh, and
You don't get that a lot.
we can't forget about the dog too.
Oh
The
yeah,
fact
I
that
was
a
as
dog
soon
plays a
as that.
huge.
Yeah, and as soon as it was introduced, I was worried of because the dog runs off,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just sitting there because you've seen so many movies. You're just waiting for the dog runs off, and then you hear that yelp
The Yelp,
from a
yeah.
distance, and you're like, oh, here we go. They find something out. They didn't do that.
Nope. They didn't do
Restraint.
they didn't do that. It's one of the most horrible tropes in movies where
Mm-hmm.
the dog gets killed and that's an omen of things to come. And
And it's especially when
fortunately,
it's
yeah, fortunately in
especially
this
when
one
it's they
they're
run
like,
off
nope.
into the woods.
Yep. Oh yeah. You got to hear the yelp and then
Yeah.
Yep. But fortunately that didn't happen in this one. So more kudos to them. I loved all the effects in this. The effects were quite good in my opinion. I liked. I mean, the animal effects looked this like the CG was good. And then of course the creature effects on the Predator itself was a really. I mean, a lot of it was practical. So the face and everything was all done with prosthetics and like animatronic type stuff, and it looked really good. I think that with Predator, you kind of have to do it practical because it would look weird if it was CG, but
Yeah.
it it looks really good. I like the way that they did the camouflage in this one. Um, just yeah, great set pieces too. Like unexpected things happen, fun things, scary things. Like it was just across the board, man. I just had a blast with this.
Yeah, I was surprised, and it definitely sold me on the idea of I need to watch the original Predator.
Yeah, I
I
think you're
gotta
gonna
get
like
on
the
that.
original Predator a lot.
Gotta
It's a
get on
classic.
it.
I mean, it's a very similar movie actually. It's like it's the original Predator's even more stripped down than this. Like there's basically no plot other than them trying to kill it. Like that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
There's more to this one with Amber Midthunder's character and her place in the tribe and all of that stuff. But yeah, I liked that too. How they wove in like the Predators, like their whole thing with like her sort of rite of passage and her like becoming the warrior and all of that stuff, and how they kind of weaved it into her story.
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought that was really cool too. So yeah, great time, and the fact that it's on Hulu and everybody can watch it,
Hulu.
that's pretty surprising too. I mean, this probably is the best movie I've ever seen go straight to Hulu.
Yeah, I think you might be right. And also, I forgot to discuss this. They also have a Comanche version, which is the version I watched. So
Oh,
it's all dubbed
really?
in, yeah, it's all dubbed in Comanche.
I had no idea.
Yeah, which
That's
is,
interesting.
yeah. So that's quite something.
That's awesome. That is really cool. I would have done. I would have watched that if I had known that there were. I didn't
Well,
know that there was a.
you were talking about how you're excited to watch it again. So next time you watch it,
Yeah, I will.
slap on the Comanche version.
The cool thing about that is even if you do watch the English version, they still make it clear that they're not speaking English. Like the fact that the actors are speaking English is just for our benefit. And there's a scene that happens later in the movie that we understand then that like they're not actually speaking English. It's just for our benefit.
Hmm. Gotcha.
And I'm glad that they included that little bit in there. It was the scene when she was with the trappers and they got the one guy that could speak Comanche to translate.
Oh, okay, okay.
And I also appreciated that the trappers there weren't any like there was no subtitles or anything for them. So
Yeah, because
if
it
you
doesn't matter what they're saying.
no
You know what they're there for.
exactly
They're
exactly
not saying anything important.
nope
They're not important. They're gonna die, and that's what we all want.
exactly yeah I was pretty confident that this movie would also be respectful of the culture and the history and all of that stuff too. Like I wasn't too worried about that. And it seems like it was that it
Yeah,
did present
yeah,
things in a respectful way, which is good.
yeah. No, all in all, definitely recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and give it a score. I'm sitting high on this one. I'm at like an 8.
Oh my goodness, I'm like
Yeah,
I'd say a 7. I'm at a 7.
there you have it. Pray. Check it out now. It is playing in theaters too, so I think that this would be a great one to see on the big screen. But if you have Hulu, you can watch it there as well. All right, let's talk about some of what we've been watching. I had a pretty light week this week. I saw The Reef Stalked. This is a sequel, sort of, to The Reef, which I never saw. Never saw the original.
Okay.
Directed by Andrew Trauke. This is the guy who pretty much has made his career by doing animal attack movies. He did the original Reef, and then he was the guy who did, the Blackwater movies, which were the alligator attack movies. Was it a crocodile? It was a crocodile. Sorry. Those were okay. I remember thinking that the first one was like all right, and then the second one, which came out pretty recently, was just not. It was pretty much the same thing. The Reef Stalked. What you have here is your pretty classic shark attack movie. It's a group of friends who go out for a kayaking trip, and they get stalked by a shark, and the shark kills them one by one. That's it.
Mm, cool.
Yep, brings nothing new to the table.
That sounds boring.
And yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, why wouldn't you just watch Jaws? Rewatch
Yeah.
Jaws. Or Jaws 2. Just watch Jaws or Jaws 2, because both of those are better than The Reef
Well, there was
Stalked.
what was that other shark attack one?
There's a million of them.
Yeah, I know, but
Open
yeah,
Water
that's like
was one.
what was the one with the surfer? She went to like a secluded area, like a beach, to do some surfing.
Oh, the one with
Lively.
Blake Lively. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
That one was good because that brought something new to the table. There was something different about that one. I liked that one. There was also the one, and I can't remember the name, where the sharks get are attacking in a supermarket.
Into what? Hmm?
Yeah,
Sharks
it's
in a
there's like a hurricane,
supermarket.
like a typhoon situation,
No, it's
and
called bait.
it leaves a bunch of sharks inside of a supermarket.
Oh, that's bait from 2012.
Bait, yeah, bait.
Tsunami just flipped the food chain.
Yeah.
Well,
See that
fuck.
That's a cool idea right there. Because, like, they're having to, like, hop across the shelves and stuff. Because the whole place is flooded and there's sharks everywhere.
Uh-huh.
That's something different.
Yeah.
But the Reef Stalked is not different. And what's worse is that they try to, like, shoehorn in this awful. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a metaphorical thing that's happening here, because the reason that they're on this trip is because another one of their friends was murdered by her husband. And so there's like, it's just not good. Just not good.
I'm surprised that they, like, in all the shark movies that we haven't had something disastrous happens at an aquarium.
Wasn't Jaws 3 at an aquarium?
Is Jaws 3 an aquarium film? Because if it is, I'm watching that too. Going adding bait.
I'm pretty sure Jaws 3, because there's that scene when they're in the walkway, like the tube, where you're under the water and they see it coming. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Jaws 3 because that was the 3D one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to watch that.
Have you seen Jaws 2?
I have not seen Jaws 2.
Because Jaws 2 is better than Jaws 3.
I imagine, yeah. But Jaws 3 has Dennis Quaid.
It does.
Does Jaws 2 have Dennis Quaid?
I don't think so.
I bet you Jaws 2 doesn't have fucking jack shit. No, it has Roy Schneider. Okay.
Yeah, Roy Schneider comes back.
Alright. Brody's doing his thing.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, I gotta watch the second one. Guess what we inadvertently did?
Would you watch the wrong movie?
No. Oh. I did a first and last.
Oh, okay.
With Paul Schrader.
Classic
so
Schrader.
I watched Schrader's directorial debut, which is finally on Criterion Channel, which is Blue Collar. You got Harvey Keitel, Yaphet Kotto, and Richard Pryor.
Classic trio.
That's your fucking cast right there. Are you kidding me? They're auto workers, and it's just them. They working in the factory, working on the assembly line. A little bit of them outside of that, like at the bar and stuff. And what it comes down to is the unions not really helping them out. There's some small stuff that's like not being addressed that they really wish would be taken care of. And of course they're getting shit from, management and everything, as you naturally do. And so what they decide, or what they come up with, is they plot to rob the union headquarters. So break into the safe, take the money, because they all need something. Harvey Keitel's daughter needs braces, so he needs money for that. Everyone needs money. So this is the idea that they come up with. Break in, there's no money there, but they take a little safe that just has paperwork in it. But the thing is on the newscast, when the union's being interviewed about it, they're like, yeah, we lost $10,000. So they're like, what the hell's going on here? So the unions try to do some insurance fraud, and then it becomes a whole fucking thing, man. Whole thing that they got to deal with. And it's pretty damn good for a directorial debut. I mean, at this point, Schrader pretty much made a name for himself as a screenwriter. Mm-hmm. And as you can imagine, the script is great for this. But I think it just really also helps that you have these three guys for your first movie. Like, you can't really go wrong with these three guys. I don't know what more you could want in a movie, really.
I need to definitely up my Schrader game.
Oh, this is because I haven't been able to. This hasn't been streaming anywhere for a long time. I've been trying to find this for years, so it's finally on Criterion Channel. Take advantage of it before it leaves.
Okay, and then I take it the next one you watched was The Card Counter?
Yeah, I watched The Card Counter. Didn't like it.
I liked The Card Counter. That was cool.
Didn't like The Card Counter. But I do like the idea of Ty Sheridan as like a greasy like metal dude. He
Mhm.
looked really good in that role. It
Mhm.
just looked that looked so natural to him. It's just like, yes, he's found his character. This is what he needs to do from here on out. Because he makes a good dirtball.
Oh yeah.
But this okay, like the movie itself, it's decent. It's okay. The performances aren't that great. The only thing that I really took away from this that I thoroughly enjoyed was the kind of the experimental camera work at the interrogation site, where it's
Mhm.
like two images kind of like being peeled, but kind of come is rotating back in on itself. Like I don't know. I've never seen that before, and I thought it was pretty great. But I just want to talk about something when it comes to streaming that I find that's difficult or is weird in a way is that you're not experiencing things the same way as other people because there's a certain point this movie shifted for us and I don't know if it's how it was filmed and it was actually a choice like I don't know if it was to signify that Oscar Isaac's character was starting to tilt or if my HBO Max app wasn't working correctly. So I'm not sure which one it was. So everything kind of gets like a little choppy
No. Well, no. At
because
least
like the
I don't
movement,
remember that.
everyone's movements got weird.
Oh no, no, no.
But the
Then
weird thing was is that I couldn't pin it down is when they talked, everything was fine. Like it didn't affect the speech and the dialogue. It was just their movements.
yeah, I don't remember that. I think that might have been some kind of glitch or something in your streaming.
It was bizarre. It was bizarre. But again, that's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if this is how the movie's supposed to be or if my internet's having issues.
Seems like it was a streaming thing.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. I was like, if this is a choice, it's a terrible choice.
Yeah,
But
I definitely don't remember that when I saw it, and I did see it on streaming also. All right, so that's the card counter. Not a big fan. I enjoyed it. That was quite good. I was enamored by it.
oh yeah,
The last one that I saw was called What Josiah Saw.
ooh,
This just dropped on Shutter, directed by Vincent Grashall. Didn't know what to expect with this one. I didn't actually have much of a desire to see it, so it was kind of like a last minute thing where I was just looking to put something on, wasn't too invested. But then it quickly hooked me. This is a I was expecting it to be just another folk horror movie, and it is sort of, but it leans more into like kind of crime thriller territory than some kind of like folk horror tale. It is interesting because it's told in chapters and it follows these three siblings, and each chapter is a different sibling, and then there's like a final chapter that pulls everything together. So you have Robert Patrick in here as Josiah. He's the patriarch of this family, and then you have Nick Stahl, Scott Hayes, Kelly Garner. Those are the children, and then it goes through each of their stories, and then they all get they're in different places. They get pulled together to go back to this farmhouse where they grew up in order to sell it. They're trying to. There's a land developers trying to like set up an oil operation there. It's in Texas, and they just need to sign to sell the land, sell the property, get some money. But
mm-hmm.
old secrets boil to the
Uh-oh.
surface, and there's a lot of horrible things that come to light. And it's a pretty disturbing movie, very disturbing actually. But it's really interesting. It goes places that I definitely didn't see it going. There's like gypsy curses in here, and it's very interesting because of how it takes its time developing these three siblings over the course of the runtime, which is just at 2 hours. I read a someone on Letterbox, Jacob Knight, shout out to him, says that it's like he said it's the closest thing we'll ever get to S. Craig Zoller's The Haunting of Hill House, and I think that that's like a really great way to look at this. If you're familiar with S. Craig Zoller's movies, he makes these kind of genre films that like are really character focused and have these like kind of just very detailed explanations about the characters and stuff, and also the dialogue in this movie is very good. This is a very well written film. It's really witty dialogue. I enjoyed it quite a bit. So this was a big surprise for me. I had zero expectations, and I came away from this liking it quite a bit. So it's not perfect. It definitely drags, and it actually takes a while to get going. But I think the end result is definitely something interesting. So I do recommend What Josiah Saw on Shudder. Check it out.
Nice. I have this on my watch list, so that's encouraging news.
It looks great too.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's take a look at what we have in theaters this week. We got Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. This looks decent. Horror movie. I'll maybe check it out. I don't know. Let's see what else we have. Fall. This is a sort of a containment thriller about two friends who climb one of the tallest structures in the United States, which is a TV tower that's 2,000 feet tall. And guess what? They get stuck. They get stuck on the top. I saw this movie, but I can't talk about it quite yet because it'll still be under embargo when this episode drops. But I'll talk about it next week. We also have Mac and Rita. This is a comedy with Diane Keaton. I think it's like where sort of like a Big situation where she plays like a 20-something-year-old, and then but like everybody says that she acts like an old she's like a 20-something-year-old, but like her she's like a 70-year-old in a 20-something-year-old's body is what I meant to say.
Oh no.
And something happens where she wakes up and guess what? She's Diane Keaton all of a sudden.
Naturally.
So that's and then comedy ensues. On VOD this week, let's see. On the 8th, we have Dawn. This is it looks like a rideshare type thriller. Like we haven't seen those before. On the 9th, we have Of the Devil. That sounds like a horror movie, if there ever was one. We have Tin Can. This is like a sci-fi horror movie, I think. Probably going to check this out, because it also seems like a bit of a containment type situation.
Checking out Tin Can?
Yeah, I might check this out. We have Merrild.
Yeah, this looks like a Scandinavian film on a catamaran.
Film team sets off on a catamaran to make a thriller. They come across surprises, and in the end, you can't distinguish between reality and fiction. You know, I love that.
Oh, blur those lines.
Blur them up. We have My Favorite Girlfriend. That's also on the 9th. And then on the 12th, we have I Love My Dad, which is a comedy with Patton Oswalt. And then we also have Rogue Agent, which sounds like some kind of political thriller, maybe. With, Gemma Arterton's in this one.
This is this is incredible because it's directed by Declan Lawn and Adam Patterson.
Dude, I saw this. Yeah, I got an email about this. It was like Adam Patterson's Rogue Agent. I'm like, what? And it's spelled the same too. It's 2 T's.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw this because there was like an email that I got about interviewing Adam Patterson, and I'm like, what? That'd be weird.
Oh man, you got to check out like I guess Lawn and Patterson are a directing duo, and their first movie is called Rough, where a local dog receives the death sentence.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I think I'm just gonna not do that.
it looks like the street thugs come to save the dog.
That's cool. All right, on Blu-ray this week, we have the 4K version of Heat coming out from 1995.
Man, I gotta rewatch that.
I've been meaning to rewatch this bad boy. Looks like Event Horizon is coming out on a 4K edition. This is the 25th anniversary edition.
Oh hell yeah!
I doubt that it's that fabled director's cut, though.
It'd be incredible if it was.
I do not think it is. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Crimes of the Future. We got Doom from 2005. That's the one with The Rock. Oh boy. Men is coming out, which is interesting. I have not seen Men yet, I'm a big fan of Alex Garland, and yet I haven't seen this. I heard kind of middling.
Bad things.
Yeah, I haven't heard great things about it. So I've been kind of like not too excited to see it. It looked good, but something tells me like the twists and stuff in it are gonna not be to my liking.
Yeah.
We have Back to the Beach from 1987.
Go back to the beach.
Yeah, it's on that Paramount signature series or whatever it's called. We have Dr. Lamb from 1992. Let's see. Flying Guillotine 2 from 1978. Uh-oh. Here it is. Down to Earth from 2001, starring Chris Rock.
Yes.
L.A. AIDS Jabber from 1994. What? L.A. AIDS
What?
Jabber.
L.A. AIDS
Yeah.
Jabber.
So this is on a label called Visual Vengeance. And the synopsis here is a guy who has been diagnosed with AIDS decides to get his revenge on the world by attacking people with hypodermic needles filled with his blood.
Oh, boy.
That just seems really tasteless. What else we got here? State of Grace from 1990. Nitram from last year. Learning to Drive from 2014. It's like on a Shout Selects collection or something, looks like. Psycho Gothic Lolita from 2010.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That's pretty much it. What about Criterion's?
Still none.
No Criterion's. Taking a summer break.
They're on vacation, I guess,
Yeah.
is what they're doing.
Guess so.
They went back to the beach.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @filmpulsenet and @filmpulsekevin. And if you have a moment, consider giving us a review on iTunes. That would be very much appreciated. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.